Freedom is not by accident. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Tonight's theme is Honoring Fatherhood. And as we approach America's 250th birthday, I cannot help but think about another group of fathers, our founding fathers. They gave us freedom. And as a father of 5, grandfather of 19, and great-grandfather of 1, I've learned something important. Freedom is wonderful. Freedom is powerful. Fatherhood taught me that freedom without guidance becomes chaos. Freedom without responsibility becomes risk. In my world, freedom without preparation becomes, usually something involving a zipline, trampoline park, and a few lawyers. For most of my career, I've worked in industries where people love to use the word accident. Someone falls, someone gets hurt, something breaks. And owners say it was just an accident. Then they pull out their 10-page waiver with 12 check boxes, a signature, initials on every page, and enough legal language to make the founding fathers say, maybe we should have written the Declaration longer. But as an engineer, I've learned that many accidents are not truly accidents. They're often the result of bad choices, ignored hazards, and responsibilities that were overlooked. Of course, when lawyers get involved, the answer becomes more complicated. Ask an engineer why something failed, and you get a straight answer. Ask a lawyer, and you get, well, it depends. Put 2 lawyers in a room, and suddenly you have 3 opinions, 4 objections, and 1 invoice. Fortunately for me, many of those lawyers hire my services. I started my career as a welder in 1983, which actually led to me building roller coaster track in Springville, Utah. Since then, I've spent decades designing, manufacturing, inspecting attractions, developing patents, and investigating amusement ride accidents. And through all of that, I've learned one unforgettable truth. The laws of physics don't lose at deposition. They don't take holidays. They don't care about your feelings. And they do not read waivers. And they've never lost in a deposition. Not once. Gravity remains undefeated. A few weeks ago, my team went ziplining in Utah. We used my auto-braking zipline trolleys designed so that a rider doesn't have to control the speed or worry about stopping. As I soared across the canyon at Deer Creek Reservoir, I held a DJI camera and wore a GoPro, turned toward the scenery, and captured the wonderful zipline ride. I was not afraid. I was not controlling my brake system. I was free to enjoy the zipline journey. Good design makes a difference. And that is what good fathers do. They don't remove every risk from life. They build the rails, teach the principles, set the boundaries, and create enough safety for others to grow. My own father taught me early. He was the youngest of 12, worked hard, raised crops, and understood accountability. If he missed a water turn that week, his 35 acres of sugar beets would suffer. He was also a truck driver. His handle was plowboy, kind of like a guy in the field with a horse, pulling a plow. Not playboy, big difference. And my handle in 1973 was Little Plowboy. That name stuck with me until he passed, 2011. And in many ways, I took the reins. My father taught me that freedom is not laziness. Freedom is stewardship. Freedom is discipline. Freedom is doing the right thing when nobody is watching. Our founding fathers taught our nation the same lesson. They knew freedom would not maintain itself. Someone had to earn it, someone had to defend it, and someone had to preserve it. And now it's our turn. Whether we are raising children, leading businesses, serving in communities, or standing right here in Toastmasters trying to make Leanne Cross nervous, which is not easy, we each have a role to play. Because freedom is not by accident. Freedom is built, freedom is maintained, and freedom is protected. Tonight, I'm grateful for our fathers who shaped our lives, for our founding fathers who shaped our nation, and for this Toastmasters Club that helps shape our voices. May we use that voice wisely. Words matter. May we protect freedom responsibly. May we always remember gravity remains undefeated, but with preparation, responsibility, and good design, we can become free to soar. Thank you. That's just Zipline. See what kind of speed we're coming in at. How's that? That's pretty nice. You get it dialed in, it works. That's just Zipline. See what kind of speed we're coming in at. How's that? That's pretty nice. You get it dialed in, it works.